Alrighty, here it is, May 1st. May 1st. Can't believe it's May, which is kind of cool and kind of nice in a lot of ways. But welcome. Today is another day of my good parts with Chase Swift. So today I have a good topic. I think, well, it'll be fun for me, but it is a good part, and that is how to guarantee happiness all your life. Okay, which is a good goal. I mean, you want to be happy, of course. You want to have, good times, and there's challenges all the time through life, of course, but you need something to always offset it. So, what I'm going to share is how one of the ways I maintain happiness throughout my whole life. Now, it's not like I'm perfectly happy all the time. I'm just like everybody else. I have down times, but there are certain things that I do to help that. So, I'm going to share my screen here and show you what I mean because there's nothing like show and tell. So, let's go right here and take a look. So what you're looking at is my browser, and I happen to be on my Getty Images. This is the portfolio of images that I have with Getty, and so they represent my work. They sell it for me, which is awesome. But I wanted to go through and speak about this one image because I actually got a notification, and I'll close this for a moment. I got a notification from Google. I have a search anytime it sees Chase Swift. So, as you can see down at the bottom here, there's a little photo credit. I'll zoom in on this. It says Chase Swift, and so I have a Google search because I know that a lot of times when my images are used, they're going to give me credit. So I have a search for Chase Swift, and I got an email the other day that it said there's a new posting with Chase Swift on it. I'm like, ha. So here it is. This is a image done for a website. Looks like it's revolt.tv. And it's a little bit of a dire situation, of course. This Michigan man is, and I can't keep it down. It wants to pop back up all the time. But anyway, this man in Michigan is threatening the community with nooses and racist notes. So, but it is my image, and you can see that here on my library. So, what I wanted to say was, and it's not nooses and things like that that keeps me happy, it's the photography aspect. So, this is something that I photographed years ago. And let's see if I can make it a little bit larger. That'd be nice. There we go. Um, because I photograph concepts. I can make it full screen right there. Okay. So I photographed conceptual images that say something are better than images that are vague or nice, but they don't really say anything. So this image says something, obviously. It says, well, it's a dire situation. It's like, you know, it's a attention getting because we all know what a hangman's noose is for. It's not a good thing. So I shot this because I wanted to say that hopefully that there are better alternatives, or this is not the answer, or there's so many ways to say don't do this, or the consequences of inactions or other things, or breaking the law are not good. So this is kind of the concept behind this. Now, I thought I'd share because I love taking photographs. Obviously, I'm a photographer, but my point here is find something that you really love to do, and that will keep you happy because you get to do it whenever you like and as often as you like. Unless it's climbing Mount Everest or big mountains like that, you can't do that all the time. But I just wanted to go in depth a little bit about this image. This was a hangman's noose that somebody else did, and for another shoot, and I said, "Huh, would you mind if I have that?" And they go, "No, no, no, not a problem." So it's got this realistic quality of this rough rope, right? And the noose is done very well, by the way. And what I did, as you can see, it's probably most shown here, but I used a reflector just to add a little a highlight to the left edge. This is something that was really what I learned at Brooks is giving your images dimension and fullness and shape, and using light to do that. So it's got a brighter side on the left side because of a strong silver reflector reflecting the sun into this part of the news. So it looks more three-dimensional. The little hairs and such on the rope really come out, and it gives it some dimension. The other thing that I really focus on is the background. In a lot of my images, the background is so, it doesn't draw attention. It's just there. Like in this image, this is just out of focus trees. I photographed this in town at my mother's house on the driveway, and I was pointing across the street, down the neighborhood a bit to some trees. And the lens that I'm using is a telephoto lens. So the background really gets blurry, kind of like looking through binoculars. When you focus on something, great. But the background tends to be really blurry and out of focus, which draws the attention to the subject, the Hangman's News. I mean, your eye just goes to the Hangman's News. You're looking at all the detail. You're not wandering around. The background is nice. It's pleasing, but it's not grabbing your attention. So this is one thing as far as photography, composition, and what I do to make the image with the statement, this is a serious matter, right? So I did this all intentionally because I didn't want a person in the background or a car or a bird or anything like that, because that would be that's a different statement. And so I didn't want to confuse the viewer on what this was all about. So just a little bit of information there. Used a tripod, got it all set up. I didn't put it dead center. I used the rule of thirds, which is a very powerful rule. Of course, some rules you break, of course. But in this case, there's room for, let's say, other copy or other headlines or other information. Pictures can be inserted on top of this, what's called negative space. It's really not useful information in the photograph. So a graphic designer can use that negative space more effectively if it doesn't cover up anything in the image. Okay. So the image is very important. It's well lit. It's got dimension. It's got shape. I also used a diffusion flat, which is basically a white sheet, not like a bed sheet, but it allows light go through it. It's translucent. So it's like parachute material or something like that that allows light to come through. It doesn't block all the light, but you can see the softness of the light. It looks like an overcast day. There are no deep, dark shadows on the rope. And so it's just nice. It's well lit. The shadows in between, yes, they're there, but it's well lit. You can see every detail. And then we got the highlight of the reflector on the left side. So it adds a shape and dimensionality and a 3D look, as it were, of the rope. So there's a lot to go into a photograph. And what I like to do when I am photographing, because I love the challenge of it, and then I love the thought process. I love telling a story or making a statement or saying something when I take a photograph. And this is, be careful. A Hangman's Noose is serious business. It's not dark and it's not rainy. There's not lightning in the background, although those could be elements of a different photograph that could make it even more alarming and more suspenseful. And that would definitely give it a different feel. This has the daylight feel. It has, it's not doom and gloom everywhere. It's just that, yeah, there's something here or there that, you should pay attention to and avoid. Okay. Well, in my case of the image use that they used in this article, as I try to close this, is unfortunately there's a man that was sentenced for threatening a community with nooses and racist notes. So, yeah, so my image was used in a different way, or in a way that I didn't have any idea. I appreciate that I was, the image was used, that I got a nice credit, and I do get paid. I don't know exactly right how much. It varies. And so I get a statement from Getty probably within 3 months of certain activity of my images being used. So they don't give me any other credit here, I don't believe. But this is how photography is used now in websites quite a bit. They need illustrations, they need images, and that is a business that I have had for 28 years, quite a while, quite a while. So anyway, that is just an illustration of what I enjoy doing. I love taking photographs. There's a lot of thought behind each photograph, the composition, the lighting, if I'm going to, I always like to make a statement, or the image should speak to a concept, a feeling, a message of some sort, and it should be really evident to the viewer. That's the mark of a good photograph. And so I'm going to go through some more photographs down the road. And so this is just a one because it was published. I didn't want to start out necessarily with the Hangman's News. So that's kind of dark and depressing. But the fact that I got a Hangman's News, it was like, oh, I'll take a photograph. That it was nicely done. I hung it up with kind of like a clamp, and so it wasn't under a tree or anything like that. Got the diffusion flat, got the reflector, chose my background, got the long lens, photographed it, and it was pretty simple. And years later, that image has sold. I'm sure it's sold some other times before, hopefully in different ways, of course. But that provides me. It's nice to provide the world, the community, the media, the websites around the world with content that they can use, photographs, and there's a greater chance that they use images like mine when they're conceptual, and it makes me feel good. It makes me feel good to kind of have a statement to say to the world. This augments or adds to the value of articles and websites and things like that. So it is a fun thing that keeps me happy, and I feel satisfied and encouraged, and then it makes me want to go out and take more photographs, and ideally provide more conceptual images that make a real statement about the subject, and the viewer has a feeling or has a thought or an emotion. That is the mark of a good photograph. And so it took me a long time to learn that, but I was passionate about it because I love photography, and I got better and better and better and better. As with anything that you do in time, you get better and better and better. So the good part for today is do something that you enjoy doing. Doing it as often as you can keeps you happy. And those fulfilling things that you can do, whether it be a hobby or even a profession, or however, whatever it is, we're all different, and we all can do whatever appeals to us. And so many people have different things that they love doing. So that was my encouragement, is to find something, and I'm sure you probably already have, but maybe it's a reminder to go out and do that. For me, it's a beautiful day in May. Maybe I'll take my camera out and take some photographs and think about the concepts I want to portray, the subject, and how the background integrates. These are all things that I think about. So it's fun for me to do all that. So, anyway, I hope this helps you with your life, and the fact that, we can do things that hobbies or even our profession to help others. And I know that gives you probably a lot of satisfaction. So keep doing that. Simple message, not provocative like others, but it's just a good reminder. So with that, let me remind you that if you want to get reminded of my live calls, my Good Parts Challenge, you can go down below here to my website, chaseswift.com/good, and sign up for my newsletter. At the end of every week on Friday, I send out a newsletter. Okay, so it's one a week with all the different episodes that I do Monday through Friday. So you get them all at once. Simple little email. Delete it if you get behind, whatever. I also put some other good tips and ways to help people that are maybe building an online business, tools that might be effective, and lots of good stuff to hopefully raise the bar, make life a little bit better, a little bit more good, if that's a word, more good. It isn't. So, anyway, that just is my goal to help. And social media is a wonderful way to do it. I just had to go live and record a short session. So maybe that's encouraging to you. And so if it is, I encourage you to do that. I don't have any comments here, which is fine. Some people like joining my live calls and commenting. So I will leave it as that, short and sweet. And we'll see you tomorrow for the episode 2 of this week in the Good Parts Challenge with Chase Swift. Have a great day. Thanks for watching. We'll see you tomorrow. Bye for now.